third edition. I get third. Yes, our third sample of the odds couple. That would be me, Doug Pike, and he, Chris Hodge, all the way up in New York. I'm about as far as I could get with you without learning to speak Spanish, I think.
Come on. It's not like that.
Well, actually, you have to kind of know a little bit around here anyway.
No hablo inglés.
Well, and that's been the same for 30 years. That's nothing new. There's a lot of other stuff we could talk about what we want. Yeah, man, you and I talked earlier in the week about this Silicon Valley Bank collapse. What's the name of that? SVB, whatever.
You know, it's funny. You got banks going out of business. How the hell is that possible? Needing bailouts left and right. And I got people that complain about gambling.
Yeah, there's some. They wonder why their money's not safe in a bank. It's because that bank, I read a little bit about it this week, second largest collapse, I think, in U.S. history, bazillions of dollars down the tubes. And what most of it was, if I read right, is that they, years ago, when interest rates were darn near zero, rolled out a pile of money into really low interest government bonds. And then when the interest rates came up and everybody wanted some of their money back, they didn't have any way to go get it. So
it's a bank. Like, that should be the definition of go get some money.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's,
this is what's going on with this country right now. And I can't figure it out. You have the Bitcoin situation. What was that? FTX or whatever they were.
Yep. They went down.
A bunch of kids in the Bahamas working on something fooled a bunch of investors with a lot of money. Right. Yep. Great. Now you got a bank, a legitimate bank, going out of business. And again, I have people calling me up and, oh, you're in the gambling business. That don't work. Really? Because I've made my living on it since 2004. It's 2023. I've never needed a bailout. As far as I know.
If you were to write up how banks work and how the stock market works and how sports wagering works without using those three terms, banks, stock market, sports wagering, the playbook would look pretty much the same, wouldn't it?
It probably would.
Make more good decisions than bad ones. That's all you got to do, right?
Yeah. Here's the deal with me. I'm not a religious person, so I know that really pisses off probably half of the people that will listen to this. I like to see things in front of me for me to believe them, right? I don't believe in ghouls, goblins, or all this other nonsense, right? So a bank where I invest in that, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. I just put my money in there and whatever happens. But when I bet on a game, I get to watch it. I get to see it with my own eyes. I like that. That means something to me.
I see that, yeah.
You know, you got to take a leap of faith. No, I don't like leap of faith. I like watching something right in front of me.
Oh, you'd never like the stock market then, because that's all that is a leap of faith.
Oh, there's criminals. They're criminals.
I hate to sound like you. It's that kind of guy. Okay.
The Houston guy, polite, nice. The New York guy, an asshole.
But I do. I've got the same guy I've been working with money for a long time, and he's made some really good decisions for me, and that's why I trust the guy. That's why he still keeps an eye on it, and he gets a little piece for that. Just kind of, I guess, like the juice in sports wagering, right? Is that the same?
Look, we joke around. There's good and bad in every business.
Right.
But I'm just sick of the way this government is doing things right now, and I just like to have control over my own money. So look, when it comes to gambling, I say this all the time. You know, you're not going to win every game. So if you get into with the expectation that you're going to win every game, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you're smart about it, it could work. But again, you know, the balls, the audacity of these banks, lose all their customers' money, go out of business, get a bailout from the government, do it again. That's wash, rinse, repeat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like
pretty much, yeah. And who's
makes sense to me.
Nobody's holding them accountable. They made a big mistake. Oopsie daisy. So the government prints a bunch of more money and puts them back in. Puts them right back in business.
That's a good way of putting it.
Well, I got a question for you, and it's going to be. It may take just listen to the question, and it's not as easy as it sounds when I first ask it. So you could almost make a case either way. Which in sports wagering is the bank, and which is the bank customer? The book or the customer? Which is the one playing the role of the bank in that exchange?
I mean, the bank is the sports book, right?
You're
a customer, you come in and bet it. You go to any casino out in Vegas, they're the bank, right? You make a smart investment, they pay you out. You make a stupid investment, you pay them.
But isn't the banks kind of investing in picking the right line and moving the line back and forth so that they get enough money in from the losers to pay the winners? So they're
all they're trying to do is get equal action on games and get their 10%.
Right,
That's really what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I've said it. Another thing I said, the point spread, that's the market, that's the number, that's the price, right?
Yeah.
And all they're trying to do is make the customer believe that both sides of that can win. That's it. And that's all the job is to do, is to make sure that they get equal money. And but look, when people invest in the stock market, what do they say? I'm trying to beat the market, right? That's a term that we all know, right? In sports gambling, I'm trying to beat the number.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing.
The same thing.
All of it. The banks, the stock market, any investment tool, you're trying to do better than average. Because if
let me ask you a question now. How long do we know each other?
16 years at least, right?
Okay. Have I always told you, that sports gambling is a market?
Of course.
I've always said that to you, even before it was legal, right? Back in 2012.
Yeah, when there was guys on the corner on their cell phones writing in a notebook.
It's a market. Now it's become legal in a good number of states, not all of them just yet. And all of a sudden you start hearing it's a market, including this one idiot that goes on Fox Sports. I can't say his name, that I got in a fight with him in 2013, who regurgitates the exact conversation I had with him 10 years ago. The exact conversation, goes on TV and says, and if I could sue this asshole for plagiarism, I would, but I can't. So
you won't.
I won't.
That's all you can do is just move on from that. A lot of people antsy about the banks right now. You think there's ever been a time when casinos and sports books were worried about the economy, worried about inflation? So to me, it seems like, and I've talked about this to some of the young people who sell radio down here where I am, there's always money here somewhere. It's just, you got to know where to look for it and go get it, right?
It seems like what we're hearing right now from the media is, I guess I want to say, ever since Trump began to run for office, which I believe was 2015. I'm not a political person, but ever since then, the media has tried to make us believe the world is falling on us, falling in, the skies are falling. Every negative thing they could put out there, they can put out there. But here's the deal, right? If banks start going out of business, how about the fuck of it is, right? They paid out bonuses.
Yeah.
Before they went out of business, or before they were able to pay all their employees bonuses.
Yep.
And then said, we're hurting for money.
We don't have your money. We had our money, but we don't have your money.
I would love that business model. How do you not make money with that?
Yeah. If a casino tried to pull that, think about that. The casino goes on TV Monday morning or Tuesday after the Final Four and says, you know what? We just got no money for you guys. Now,
we're not paying out tickets. Right, we're not paying out tickets.
Yeah, we got new boats.
Our CEO got a bonus.
Nice.
At 5:30 in the morning, you got a bonus. But you bet $20,000 on the game, you're not getting your ticket.
That's kind of what happened, isn't it? Really? Yeah, it happens. That's not the first time that's happened either.
Is a scam.
Man, yeah. We talked a couple of weeks ago about how much money is being thrown around in professional sports now. I heard something about just today about Shohei Ohtani. If he wants it, he could probably get the first $500 million contract.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, but man,
look, I've been adamant. One of my kids is a good athlete. Wherever he takes it, he takes it. Hopefully he takes it pretty far. But and he knows this. I've actually said to him that there's some idiot out there willing to give you $100 million for your services. Take it and run.
Yeah, absolutely.
No home team discount, none of this nonsense. If there's an idiot willing to pay you over what you might be worth, that's why you wanted to speak about golf.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
That's why all those guys went to LIV, because some idiot was willing to give them the money. Who would turn that money down?
Live it up golf. That's what I'm calling it now. Live it up, man. Because why on earth would you turn down if somebody came to you tomorrow Chris. Okay. Somebody comes to you tomorrow and says, hey, I want you to keep doing what you're doing, but just come over and do it for me. And if you'll do that, I'll pay you what you made over the last 10 years right now. Write you a check for whatever it was you made in the last 10 years. And then I'll keep paying you to just keep doing what you're doing.
So the question I would have for that, because I'm not an individual person, can I bring my staff with me?
Sure.
If they say,
I guarantee it. Oh,
right out the door we go.
Every one of those, almost every one of those guys, especially the higher up guys, they had entourages that needed to be taken care of as well. Yep. That's in the ink. I guarantee it's in the ink.
I take care of my family. I take care of my staff. I would never leave them. But if I'm in a individual sport, golf, tennis, bowling, something like that, and they tell me, hey, you're playing for this tour, making X, come play for this tour and make
10X.
Greater X. Goodbye.
Make 100X the minute you leave that original tour. Yeah, that created a lot of bad blood, obviously. And
we spoke about this last week, though. So the PGA, I read something because I know you wanted to talk a little golf.
Sure.
This got to be the dumbest decision or dumbest idea in
Which
the history of the world.
Which one of them?
I read that the PGA was talking about limiting drive distance. Did you see this?
Yeah, they're going to change the ball for professionals. Even Tiger Woods had a quote I saw it on Facebook. It's everywhere. But where he says, look, if it's a profession, if you're a professional golfer, you call yourself a professional golfer, you're going to play with this limited distance ball. Okay. And that's as far as you can hit it.
Right.
But everybody else it's the sky's the limit. You and I.
Why are we limiting anything? That's my question in life. Why is there a limit?
We shouldn't be honest.
As far as if you got a guy that could drive the ball 400 yards, figure it out where you change the golf course around, right? And go from there.
One of the problems they have is that their precious few sacred golf courses on which they always play can't be made much longer because there was only a certain number of acres they could put this golf course on. They put it on there. Now they've stretched the tee boxes as far as they can because driving distance has gone up from 250 to 320. There's stuff out there, Chris. They have golf balls, they have drivers, they have everything out there now that for you and me, if they unleash the beast, we could hit it 350 yards.
Look, I mean, I
might never find it.
If I hit the ball 300 yards, it's on accident. And if I do it straight, it's really an accident.
Yeah. The only way I can hit it 300 yards is across a frozen lake, man.
Get a good bounce.
Only shot. Oh, yeah, just roll it. There was an old joke about that. Some guy bet his friends he could hit a ball a half a mile. And he said, and they took the bet and they said, okay, let's go do it. And he said, no, I'm waiting until February. And they took him out on a frozen lake and just swatted it and it just went forever.
But I don't think we should limit anything. I don't think there should ever be a limit on what we can make in life in terms of money. If you're good at your job, if you're great at your job, Ohtani, he is not just for Major League Baseball, but for Japan. The money that they're going to make off this guy is exponential. And if they deem him to be worth $500 million, if someone's willing to pay him, then he's worth $500 million and he gets his money. Yeah, I've never had a problem with that. My issue is the NBA players. Those are and I love the NBA. This is my issue. You give these guys 25, 35, 40 million a year and they don't play every game or at least try to play every game. That's my issue.
Workload, whatever they're calling it now. That's a ridiculous
load management.
Concept. Load management.
Has there ever been a more softer expression in our history than load management?
No. You know what my load management is? Whatever my boss tells me to do.
Yeah, but I can only imagine, you're a little older than I am. If I came home 20 years ago and told my dad, 25 years ago, hey man, I'm tired. I don't think I'm going to do the paper route today. I need load management
today. Yeah.
If I said load management, the wooden spoon, I don't know how many out there got the wooden spoon. My grandmother used to get me with that all the time. It would be like, well, load management. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, take a hike, man. I'm not doing that. One thing I wouldn't want to see, though, I still like the restrictions on performance enhancing drugs. I don't like that. I don't want everybody to be all bulked up and swinging artificially hard and blowing up their hearts and whatnot.
Well,
Do
what's
it.
the difference between performance enhancing drug and slapping on garbage cans to know the signs of a ball?
That reminds me. You said something to me yesterday about the Astros. I remember that. I can't remember what. Did you want me to buy you season tickets or something? I was just
No,
checking.
I have many customers down there that have season tickets. Let me tell you guys, you guys are the best ball
Trash
breakers of all
cans.
time. You guys from Houston are pretty good.
How long are you going to carry that trash can lid around?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why. So I have I have to go back deep because if I was sitting down on a psychiatrist couch,
Sure.
my thing with Houston goes a long way because if you remember, one of my most beloved teams is the New York Knicks.
Yes, true.
And you guys got us in '94. That was a tough loss. Now the Yankees can't beat you guys. So where this comes from is just utter jealousy. It's just like you have the utter hatred I have for the city of Houston sports teams. The people seem pretty nice, but the sports teams have really got me recently.
Oh, yeah, don't hate us because we're beautiful. Well, you don't have to worry about the Rockets for a few more years, I don't think. They're trying. They won 2 in a row.
Nice game last night against the Lakers.
Yeah, they beat Boston and they beat the Lakers back to back, I think it was, and that's got to be a first for the team that's won the fewest games in the entire NBA.
It's funny because we say this, we've mentioned this a couple times. If you guys were assholes like the people from Philadelphia, there'd be nothing. Like I would treat you guys like I treat the guys from Philadelphia. But you
just
guys
hang up on me.
Every time I'm in Houston, no one curses at me. No. Everyone's very polite.
What's the point of that? Why would we curse at you, even if you disagree with us? We don't care.
Have you ever been in New York for a Yankees game?
No, I have not. I've been.
We have to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to. The closest I've ever, and I won't wear Astros gear because I don't feel like getting beat up.
Well, we like to bet, right? We like to gamble. So here's the gamble. Here's the bet.
Okay.
Come up. I'll take you for a game. My treat. And under over 5.5 fights.
Are you talking about in the section where
in the stands? You'll see over under 5.5 fights. And now we can expand that. We can go from the walk, to the Grand Concourse to the Yankee Stadium. We can just do the walk and see who's fighting, who's yelling at each other.
Oh my word,
5.5, easy. And I take the over.
I don't think I've ever seen a fight at a professional game here.
You're from Houston.
I'm serious. I know. I'm serious, man. I have not. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, if you got 5, I'm going to take the under. I'm going to presume they're a little more polite.
No, you'll lose. I'm telling you.
No, you can't start any of them though. You can't.
It often happens. I can't do the chant on the podcast, but here's what happens at Yankee Stadium, right? New York women are very pretty women. So you have a girl walking up the stands, and New Yorkers, they just say something. It's usually over a girl.
Well, that's the same down here. Yeah, that's universal. Holy cow. Speaking of, man, do you guys get the pollen that we get down here? Everything outside, man, your car, your trash cans. If it's outside for an hour right now, it's yellow, your lungs, whatever.
It's not that bad. I mean, maybe in April, something when the trees start to bloom, I guess. But
yeah, I see ours are blooming. That's what it is.
It's not that bad. I mean, we have so many other problems here in New York. I mean,
you don't even notice.
There's so many other things to worry about.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you, so we have a beautiful office, 6,000 or 7,000 square feet, and it's attached to a building. And U.S. government is coming in, a faction of it. So, they're very nice people. Yeah, they're very nice.
Couple of thousand IRS agents or something?
No. But their responsibility, and I was dumbfounded when they said this, their responsibility is like there's beetles that poison trees.
Yeah, pine bark beetle.
Their job is to make sure the beetles don't poison the trees.
That's it? How much we paying them?
Who knows? I'd rather just gamble on sports. How exciting of a job is that? Yeah,
that sounds like
make sure trees don't get poisoned by beetles.
And be sure to put an office right in the middle of New York City for those people, so that they have to travel an hour and a half just to go find a pine tree.
It's crazy.
Holy cow, man! So I was thinking about this. Okay, the sports world, your world and my world. There's a lot of common stuff in there. We got snakes. You got in your world. You got sharks in your world and my world. What is it up there You don't want to come down here. You don't like alligators. You don't like snakes.
No.
Okay. So you're staying away from them. What is it that you could show me in New York City that you wouldn't be scared of, but you think I might be?
The politicians.
Well, yeah. I see stories about them all the time. Oh, my God.
The snakes can't get you up here, but the politicians can.
Holy cow.
Look, over here is crazy. It's their policies. And I'm not political because I know they're going to fuck it up either which way. So it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter to me. But, the policies in place right now, I mean, are just people are leaving New York in droves. So if I didn't have, my grandmother here, my wife's mother, and people of that nature, family, I'd be out of this state so fast. So fast.
We're here. We're here.
As much as I like it down there, I wouldn't come. I'm thinking Carolina. Carolinas. One of the Carolinas.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter which one.
I can't go to Vegas. My wife will never see me again.
That's a possibility. Man. Yeah. I was down here is not as different. The city of Houston is not as different because it's run by mostly a Democrat run city. It just is. And so it's not that different from New York City, but still I think we got you beat on a long shot by just the nice people.
Well, even the taxes too. I mean, the taxes in New York rival might even be bigger than the taxes in California.
Well, yeah, we don't have state income tax for starters, and hopefully we never will.
No, I mean, up here is just crazy. They come up with things that you just like. A bunch of people got in the room and came up with this idea. Really?
Yeah.
Whatever the idea is, like, how did you guys come up with this idea? That's how stupid this idea was.
Because they're not having to deal with it. That's why
the latest one for us. The latest one for us. I don't know if you guys saw this story. Was they didn't want us to use gas
stoves.
Oh,
sure, yeah.
And
no
the
gas
governor,
stoves.
like the next day, gets photographed using a gas stove. Now, I get the hypocrisy of it. What I don't get is the stupidity. How are you not smart enough to not get yourself photographed?
Yeah.
A lot
of that goes on.
So, like, if you're going to lie or just come up with something that's completely stupid, don't get yourself photographed doing what you're saying not to do.
I think the best part for them is they know that tomorrow somebody else will do something dumber and they'll be on the back page.
Absolutely. In New York with these guys. I mean, these guys, man, I tell you, they're special. They are
I see some of it. I see some of it. I do, man. You guys got hotels full of people at $500 a night that are just ruining the hotels, and at $500 a night for every room. Why wouldn't they fill them up?
And this is why I do what I do, right? Because I have no cap. I have no limit.
Yeah.
I could push it. I've known you since 2006. We've been on radio for now 17 years.
Yeah.
And good business model. We don't win every game, but we win more than we lose. And if you plan it out the right way and you do the financial advising correctly, you have success. And no one can tell me otherwise because I'm a product of it, right? Yep. So you wouldn't survive. Look, like if you've been on radio for God knows how long, but if you were an idiot,
that's only God,
right? If you did something wrong, you wouldn't have lasted on radio for as long as you did.
Yeah,
same thing, no different.
23 years here.
Yeah, so we're 17 years with dealing with the FCC and the lawyers and all this nonsense, and that's fine. That it's good that it's there because you just can't come on and say anything. But the success we've had with sports gambling has been great, and I think it's only going to be better.
Well, that's what you've talked about that the whole way. I know we're tight on time right now, but you've talked about that since I've known you. You've been perfectly open and honest with everybody that, hey, we're not going to win every game. We're not going to tell you to play every game. And if you do, that's on you. But if you do it right, you don't have to go running to Joe Biden for a bailout because you made an oopsie right after you paid out bonuses.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I mean, look, there's people out there that don't like me because if they've called up on a Saturday or a Sunday and you've lost for them that day, oh, this is bullshit. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But meanwhile, we come out and tell you, you're not going to win every game. You can't win every game. It's an impossibility. And if you could win I would own a Caribbean island. Like if I could win every game,
you would own the Caribbean if you could win every game.
What's the sense of being on the phone?
I would own Europe. No, I wouldn't want Europe. I'd split the Caribbean with you. Let's just
With
do
the
that
Caribbean, right?
when we figure it out. Yeah. All right, Chris Hodge, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
As always.
That'll wrap it up for the odds couple. We'll be back next time.